So on this Kingpin, at least, we're down to the point of needing to put the cap in. Once the cap is in, then I can, fill it with grease and all that kind of stuff. I still need to lock the lock bolt down. And this Kingpin, I had it together. I really don't feel like taking it apart at this point. But I did not grind down the areas where these three stake marks are. So I'm going to try. We'll see whether or not this works. I'm going to try to get the cap in despite those stakes, and then we'll stake it a couple more times and see. On the other ones, I did the I cleaned those all off. So here we go. I'm using the nail set again. Okay. So, now another option I've heard of before is just to hammer that down a bit, and then that pushes the whole dome out. It's actually anchored in there pretty good, but since metal peeled up on the thing there, I'm still going to, at each of the stake marks, I'm still going to go ahead and put a couple more stakes in just to make sure. So I'm using a pretty big beefy center punch here. You can use a smaller one. I'm roughly a 1/16 of an inch, 3/32 in from the edge. That's ballpark of where the others were. You don't want it all the way back here because you're going to start deforming it out here. You want it fairly close to the inside edge there. I would use a smaller drift, but the way I've got the clamp set up holding it, it's blocking my drawer that has those in it. So. Alright, I think you can probably see that. That actually deformed it out there. And that's really all it needs. It doesn't need, I don't need to stake it 100 times. I don't need to smash it down in any further than that. I just need a little deforming of the metal there to know that it's got that squished in, because that cap fits pretty darn tight. And I'm pretty sure by the book you should put sealant around there. I wasn't expecting these to be that tight, so I didn't do the I had problems before with the sealant pushing out and not letting me anchor it in very tight, but I'm going to opt for letting the grease protect it. So I think actually on the other set, this is my set. This is the 320 set. So maybe I'll delete this video and show it on the other one. Call it good. All right, it says put silicone or sealant or whatever around the cap. That'd be pretty hard to deal with the cap and everything and trying to get it in. I think what I'm going to try to do here is get past some of the old sealants, since I've had this tube for a long time. And I think I'm just going to try to get a little down in the edge there, and let's see how that works. Come on, there's a... I don't necessarily want to put much in there. I just want a little bit because the cap actually sits pretty tight. And the reality is on this bottom one, I'm going to let these on the bottom when the steering arm goes on here too, so I can actually put silicone around the cap after the fact, and that just might be the better ticket. Stick it down in there first, and then do it. Maybe I'll try that on the the next one and see how I like that. But for now, let's go ahead and again, this is the Kingpin. I forgot to stake the remove the stakes from. So let's get it down in there close. It's good on that side. There's only 2 stakes, so I only have to get it pushed past this one. Okay. You can hear a slight change in the tone there, so I know it's set down in. Now I want to go ahead and make that one there. I did not push up any metal around here. It went down under there, so I already know that one's anchored nice and tight. This one here, it peeled some metal up off the cap as it went down, so that gives it a chance to come back out. So I'm going to go ahead and give it at least 1, if not 2 more stakes. There we go, that's got metal pushed out. And that pushed metal out too. Okay, so I was a little too close to the edge there, and it kind of just pushed it right off, but it's doing what it's supposed to do. So I think I might actually clean the tube up, and so I can get a finer bead in there, and I may go ahead and put a little sealant on there after the fact. I can look all the way around there and see that it looks like it's wet with sealant. So I could just call it good, but I forgot to put sealant around the top. I think I'll do that after the fact. And I just might do that on all of them. Well, I finally got the grease gun refilled, got it going, got the other dessert fittings cleaned out and that stuff. Let's double check real quick. These that I did, yeah, I did put these in and tighten them down, so okay. We're good. Now, on a grease gun, basically what happens is when you pop it onto the dessert fitting, when there's hydraulic pressure, it clamps it in even tighter, so it won't pop off. Oops. So, we'll just get it on there. Let's make sure we're, yeah. I was trying to get the camera in close enough to, okay, now I've got grease squirting out over here. I really kind of want to see grease squirting out from between them. Yeah, we got quite a bit of grease squirting out there. And I did put grease in between all that stuff when I assembled it. So let's squirt some in the other one and see what happens. Okay. Yeah, I can see it coming out of the bottom of the bearing there. So once you take the pressure off, the gun will pop back off the fitting okay. Okay. Basically working it in there. I'll give it a couple more squirts and call it good. Alright, one of the other videos I showed, I basically started doing the assembly here with the Kingpin. I've got the bearing in here, okay? What we're looking to do is to figure out the shim pack, okay? Now I showed it before with the clamp and the feeler gauges and all that kind of stuff. And basically what I'm going to show, they say put some pressure up under the spindle. So if this was on the car, you'd want to put a jack under there or something like that. Let's do that. Okay, so now as an option, you know, if you don't have feeler gauges, if you don't have some of those kind of tools and that stuff, you really got to question whether or not this is a job you should be tackling anyway. But this, here's an alternative, okay? I don't know if you saw that, but when I pushed down on it, it went down. So I have a stack of shims that came with the kit, okay? And if I put it in here, yeah, that's pretty snug, goes in. A little grease on there would probably make it go in better. And I'm just putting a little bit of pressure down on the dog bone. Now this side goes in pretty easy. I think it goes in pretty easy. So, you know, I think I would err on the side of having the one part just a little bit tight, because once you put some grease in there, it's not dry. And that'll help if you get a little bit of wear or whatever. This is going to loosen right up. So that is an option. So here, let's grab another one of these. So here you go. I've added another shim. They were 8/1000ths a piece. If you have a better shim pack that has different sizes, you can actually stack these better. So I'm pushing down, and I cannot get it in there. So we're well within 8/1000ths. Okay. I'm going to take 2 off there, and see, that goes in there real easy, and real easy. What that's going to do is that's just simply going to allow some up and down. See, I don't know if you can see that, but you can hear it. Okay. So we're doing this just with yeah. See, and there's no play, but you know, we can still easily turn it. So I'm gonna go with that when I put it together. That's what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. That's more than half the pack. But on the other half of the spindle set, I didn't use any of them. So I used the old ones. I cleaned those up and they fit perfect. So I do have 1 or 2 other that came out that I can kind of clean up and test fit as well. But now to pull the Kingpin back out of here, put a layer of grease on everything, make sure that my lock bolt fits and everything like that, and then I'm going to put the stack of washers in at the bottom of the bearing here, and we'll be, and then put the caps on and grease it up. So getting pretty close to done with this one. All right, so try to keep my arms out of the picture here a bit more, but most of the when I was cleaning up the dog bone here to get the Kingpin to fit in, I found most of the damage was either right on the very edge, which was real easy to take care of, no big deal, but the rest of it was all around this kidney bean shape, this oval in here basically, from the lock bolt basically coming in there and being too big and pushing it in, whatever. It created a burr there. So in order to and so the Kingpin was hanging up. So now you can see I've got this beautiful fit here. I mean, that is snug, but it slides in and out perfectly. Okay, what I found was a reduced size cutoff wheel, one that fit in the hole there. I could literally just run it, and if I put it at a slight angle, it doesn't dip into that hole there. And I could just go back and forth lightly here and grind any of the burr down around that hole. Okay, it didn't affect the rest of the bore because I was only working right around that edge. And once I got rid of that edge, that's when the Kingpin really started going in and out nicely. Okay, so I didn't open up any bore way in the back or up here in the front or anything like that. Just around there. Now the rest of it got cleaned out with a wire wheel and stuff like that. But the main body and the bore and that stuff is just clean. It's not resized. So almost worth getting the Dremel and the cutoff wheel and grinding it down until it gets down to that shape. Usually they're twice that size. And I think that's pretty much what I wanted to show on this. Well, let's see here. Let me just move this over real quick. The other thing was the smaller cutoff wheel works great for going in and out here and cleaning up those, taking off the bump from the stake, the old stake. Okay, and if you run at a slight angle here, and it's kind of hard to do it one-handed, but you can actually go in and out a little bit easier. Because if you're straight on, you got a real fine edge there when you're in or out. But if you turn it at a slight angle, you can move all over the place, and it doesn't really, but it kind of effectively makes the blade a little bit wider when you put it off at an angle, and it's a whole lot easier to stay in that general area without constantly popping in and out. So that should do it for that.